Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're going to get started. We still have seats in the front row. So if you're thinking, I'm going to stand because I'm really selfless, you don't have to be. There are seats in the front row. If any of our presenters haven't grabbed a seat yet, there's a spot right in front for you. Great. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here, especially on a bit of a rainy, humid day. It's wonderful to see all your bright, shining faces. I'm thrilled to welcome you today to launch and celebrate the upcoming 2025-2026 season of English theater in Montreal. My name is Sarah Day, and I'm really glad to be back again for this year's launch. I host and produce a weekly radio show about Montreal's performing arts scene. It's called Upstage. It's on CKUT. Who's been on the show before? Raise of hands. We're going to get more of you on. Don't worry. You just call me. You know how to find me. And I'm so grateful always, of course, for your time, because I'm always interviewing people like an hour before opening, a week before opening. So I just want to let you know I appreciate it, making time for radio. We speak with all artists of all kinds on the show, including independent, emerging, established, student, and community. And I see faces from all those facets here today, and that's really exciting. We are hosted today by the Conseil des Arts de Montréal in this beautiful building. And I also, of course, want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Kanien'kehá:ka people. This was also a diplomatic meeting place with other Iroquois and Algonquin groups, including the on Wendat. It's a site of human creativity and storytelling for thousands of years, and we are thankful that we're able to create, collaborate, play, and work here in Tiohtià:ke and Mooniang, this island also known as Montreal. Last year when we gathered here, it was actually our first in-person launch since the pandemic, and even though it's starting to move to ease into the rearview mirror, the past season, of course, has presented its fair set of challenges, including changes and reductions to all different levels of arts funding, and also just the world feels like it's on fire every second day. But the local community here, resilient and tough as always, is nonetheless continuing to fight, to create art, to come together, and to entertain and intrigue Montreal audiences. The Quebec Drama Federation, Advocates for English Language Theatre in Quebec, has brought together 6 companies for today's presentation. These engaging, energizing, independent theater companies are here today to give us a glimpse at their plans for the upcoming season. Last year, we went from oldest to youngest, and this year we will reverse that order, youngest to oldest. Yeah, well, age is nothing. You all look great. Today we will hear from Talisman Theatre, Repercussion Theatre, Infinite Theatre, Imago Theatre, Geordie Theatre, and Black Theatre Workshop. Today is not just a chance to see what's ahead, but to celebrate the work that has brought us here and to connect with one another. So what you can expect today, each of our companies is going to present their upcoming seasons with an amazing slideshow, so that's fantastic. And I'm going to take some time to chat with all of our presenters, and we will hear from the Quebec Drama Federation as well. We intend to include this part by noon, and of course you're welcome afterwards to mingle, to grab a couple more snacks and a warm drink. And I think the weather, Adele, is going to be better by the time we get out there. Yeah, the weather is going to be better once we're out. We are going to begin with Talisman Theatre Company. I'd like to bring up Lynn Paquette. This intercultural company produces professional English language premieres of contemporary Quebec plays. One of the upcoming works will be from a talented writer who won a huge prize in just the last week. And later this year, they will also mark a milestone, 20 years. It's a season that promises to be out of this world. Lynn Paquette, Talisman's artistic and executive director.
Hello. So I've got someone I'm very thankful for. It's Rebecca Gibeon. She's not here today, but she is the artistic associate, I believe, at the Centaur. And it so happens she was very interested in the same play Talisman is interested in, a play called Seeker. And we've got the author with us today, Marie-Claude Verdier, and the translator, Alexis Diamond. So because of the Centaur's interest, they actually offered that we do a co-production together, which is sort of a dream come true for Talisman. I've been begging and pleading for years, but it just happened all by itself. That's life. So Seeker is a bit of an odd piece for theater because it's science fiction. So we don't often see that on our stages. It's a play that takes place in 2250, so in 225 years in the future. So it's about technology becoming very clever and reshaping facts and potentially erasing collective memories. I don't know if that sounds familiar today to us, but Marie-Claude wrote this back in 2020, before we even had GPT chat in our vocabulary. So she actually had to rewrite it once it was postponed and produced after the pandemic. The technology had changed so much. So I can't talk much about casting. We're going to have to wait till the 26th of May when the Centaur launches their season. So we'll have to wait 3 weeks to know who the designers and the cast is. And I've got 2 other works that are just in translation. I've got Chocolat, written by Farah Thibault. And if you want to get a taste of it, it'll be read in French with BTW next week, part of the Club Z. I think it's Wednesday night. And the translator, Maloube, will be doing maybe a lunchtime salon. She'll be reading an excerpt in English of the play. So she's a very prolific, very young playwright and actor, Farah Thibault. So the public reading is planned for this fall in English. It's an autobiographical play. It took her actually 3 days to put it down on paper. It was sparked by the Black Lives Matter social movement. And it's a story about interracial adoption, identity quest, and it's written in the shape of a lyrical poem. So it's quite an interesting piece. And I've also got another play in translation right now. It's Rebecca de Rasp. The temporary title is Ice Flows. Rebecca's incredibly prolific, and that's who Sarah was talking about, won a big prize last week. And I believe Imago and Centaur also have a play by her coming up in the next season. So if you guys don't know about her, it's not for lack of trying to present her to you. So it's a play about sexual consent. Rebecca has a disarmingly humorous approach to some of the worst or most serious subjects. In this case, it's rape. And she succeeds in somehow elevating our understanding of the whole problem. She somehow breaks or tries to break this toxic silence that's taboo. So it's a large cast of 7 actors, and Talisman can't really afford that. So if anyone is interested in jumping in, I'm all ears. And last but not least, I want to talk about our 20th anniversary. It's coming up in November. We've rented Sala Rosa, and we're hoping to do a big freebies for everyone with snacks and drinks. So it should celebrate our resilience. 20 years is everyone's resilience, actually, in Montreal as Anglophone theater. So, yeah, save the dates, November 5th.
Thank you so much, Lynn. You can put me down November 5th.
Okay.
Check, RSVP. Thank you so much. The translation work for 2 of your productions will actually be aided by a really interesting translation residency. What can you tell me about that?
Talisman has quite an intricate translation process, but on top of that, this year we actually have two of our plays will be at the Tadoussac residency. It's something organized by Playwrights Workshop and the Cole Foundation and the Bill Glasgow family. 10 artists get to go to this beautiful house on a beautiful beach in North Shore of Quebec, and they get to work for 10 days on their own translations. And then they've got like a happy hour or whatever every day to share. All these 10 artists get to share, translators and authors get to share their challenges of the day or everything involved in translating.
It's very intimate. You're not even allowed to go.
I wish. I'd love to be a fly on the wall, but no. No, it's my favorite part, actually, of the theater process is when we start getting into words and how to translate culture and, yeah.
Last thing quickly, Lynn, approaching 20 years in November, what are you thinking about?
Well, I sort of feel like we've created a niche and we've stuck to it for 20 years. Initially, it was very hard. Quebec works were not in the palette of Montreal audiences. And I feel now with time, after 20 years, I see like there's 5 or 6 other companies that are regularly producing Quebec works in translation. And I feel like I've pioneered, and I can say not my job is done, but anyway, I want to start looking out and trying to bring plays to Scotland, to the Edinburgh Fringe, or Avignon, off, whatever, I don't know, I want to start looking outwards and beyond.
Thank you so much, Lynn.
Thank you.
Talisman Theatre. Our next company makes it their mission to come to you. Repercussion Theatre returns with a spin. Repercussion Theatre returns with a spin on its storied Shakespeare in the Park tour this summer, but indoors, they sow seeds, working to develop and enrich artists. Repercussion is also welcoming new leadership this season. I'm going to invite up 2 people, Amanda Kellogg, who is stepping away from almost a decade as artistic director, and her incoming successor, Catherine Savoie, the artistic and managing director.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Bonjour, tout le monde. Yes, it is I, Amanda, the outgoing artistic director of Repercussion. And yes, after almost 10 years, I'm slowly stepping away. And I'm so excited to present to you Catherine Savoie, who's coming in to keep sowing those seeds and planting all kinds of interesting things for the year to come.
Thank you. This season is all about collaboration. We're going to do a 3rd edition of Words with Will, the new play development, and maybe Amanda will stay on a little bit to work with us on that. We're also going to launch our new seasonal lead creators program. More to come on that later. And for this summer's Shakespeare in the Park, if we can switch the slide. It's going to be another collaboration. It's going to be a partnership with Persephone Productions. Yay! And to talk to us about the show, may I introduce Adam Capriolo, one of our co-directors for the summer show.
Hi. We're different heights. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, so the artistic director of Persephone and my co-director, Rebecca, it's okay, thank you so much though. Rebecca Gibeon couldn't be here today to help announce our show because she is in Halifax currently playing Princess Diana in Casey and Diana at Neptune Theatre, but she is anxiously watching the live stream from there, so everyone say hi, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. So speaking of Diana and other British gay icons, we are thrilled to bring our adaptation of Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest to Shakespeare in the Park. Yeah! So funny story, 15 years ago, Rebecca and I and our annoying group of friends put on a production of Ernest at Players Theatre at McGill as our first foray into producing theatre. You might be asking yourself, 15 years ago, you must have been max 9 years old. And you're right, we were. For us, Ernest was Wilde's way of laughing at himself. A dandy and his roommate looking for fabulous women to marry to be able to maintain their position in high society London. It's a satire of romantic comedy within the structure of a romantic comedy. We are so excited to introduce our amazing team behind the scenes. Ourselves, first and foremost. Aren't they gorgeous? And then we have our team. We have set designer BP Ul. We love our costume designer Chloé Dupommier. Our props designer who's in the room with us, Pen Sin. Where's Pen? Pen, yeah! Look at that hat. Our sound designer, Carmen Mancuso. And Leah Wright, our stage manager, right there.
And shop dogs. And the awesome shop dogs.
And also the awesome shop dogs, who I totally wrote down. So for our cast, we actually saw over 120 people. And whittling it down to 6 was nearly impossible, as the talent pool in Montreal just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, woo. But we're so proud of who we found, and in the great tradition of both Persephone and Repercussion, most of these actors are making their Montreal professional theater debut. As Jack, we have Hassani Freeman. As Algernon, recent NTS grad Coulter Gulseth. As Cecily, Mara Lazarus. Yeah! As Gwendolyn, we have also recently graduated from NTS, Juliana Monk. As Miss Prism, Anne Lane, we have the amazing Stephanie McKenna. And as Lady Bracknell and Dr. Chasuble, we have Theodore Vlachos, who's also here, right there. The diva. Theodore's drag persona, Augusta Wind, was quite literally named after the character of Lady Augusta Bracknell. So it all ties together. This will not be your mother's Ernest. This will be your drag mother's Ernest. We are so excited to gag you all this summer with our campily lavish and joyously queer production of Ernest. See you in the park for the party of the year.
And up there you can see the tour schedule that is in place, and that's maybe a good thing we can keep up there if you want to come ask us some questions.
Thank you to all three. So right off the bat, Wild in the Park, not Shakespeare in the Park. What's the response been like?
Terrible. No, I'm kidding. I think most people are very excited. We love Shakespeare. We love classic theater as well, and it fits right into the canon, we feel. It's a fun show, which is what we've always looked for Shakespeare in the Park, and it ties together classical theater. Yeah.
I'm really excited. I am.
Yay.
We love Shakespeare, but he's been around for 400 years, and he'll be around for another 400. But this feels really nice.
Yeah.
If I can editorialize. How is the transition going?
I feel really lucky that this transition was so well prepared by the board and by Amanda, and we get to work together for like several months, and then she's staying on like sprinkled in throughout the summer and fall. And I feel like the community has been so incredibly welcoming. Super happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been really great introducing people to Catherine and getting to work alongside her. And one of the things I really appreciate about her so much is that, you know, she's really excited about bringing teams together and bringing in artists and fostering partnerships. And I think that's going to be a real kind of hallmark of how things go forward. I think it's a slightly different model that that has been created essentially based on who she is. So it's really exciting, and I'm excited for the community.
Repercussion Theater's Flower Trio. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Amanda. Our next company is Infinite Theater. Infinite Theater develops and produces plays written or adapted by artists in Quebec. The season ahead is a cornucopia of projects, including the annual writing competitions, a book launch, a translation, a whale of a tale, as well as a trip across the ocean. Zach Fraser, everyone's favorite puppetry prof, is artistic director at Infinite Theater. Come on up, Zach.
Hello, folks. I'm going to try to be efficient with all of this. 25-26, we wanted to bring you a season full of art. So I wrote down art, but I meant heart. So anyway, heart and art, both of those things. First up, as Sarah mentioned, we've got our 2 playwriting competitions that are ever popular. Right now is our teen writing competition with a $500 cash prize and a deadline to submit by June 15th. And then we've got our Write on Cue, which has a $2,000 cash prize for the winning play, not for everyone, unfortunately. And that's got a deadline of September 2nd to submit. But of course, the best prizes are not the money. Nobody needs money in theater. The finalists are invited to have their works read as part of our public readings. So first up, stretching summer into the fall, we have Park and Play, open air reading series. That's on September 27th in Parc Drolet Rachel. And then we have Pipeline. Can you guys all hear me okay? Good, okay. And then we've got Pipeline is our annual play reading series on December 6th at Whitewall Studios on the Plateau. And that is going to be this year with joined together with a book launch of our next 2 Anthony Press play publications, which are Extra Beautiful You by Michaela Di Cesare and King Dave by Alexandre Goyette, adapted with English Major and translated by Patrick Emmanuel Abelard. So back in 2021, we did a show called The Silence of Sky, and we're happy to bring it back. Unfortunately, not for all of you here, but we're going to take it over the ocean to Cyprus to be presented at the Larnaca Biennale in October. The piece was created and performed by Anana Rudvald, and we're really happy to have new Greek translations by Stavri Papadopoulou, who is here over. Our main stage production, which is for all of you to come see. Of course, you're welcome to see the show in Cyprus as well. But this one, definitely, if you want to support the theater, come see the theater here. Conceived by Ash Lang, Riley Wilson, et moi. It's born from a profound love for whales and the oceans they inhabit. Whalefall examines the humanity within these giants of the sea. Whalefall incorporates verbatim and documentary-style storytelling, large-scale puppetry, lo-fi projections, object theater, and live sound design. The creative team includes Jeremy Lewis, Violet Kay, Felix Robitaille, Emily Ann Horning, Stavri Papadopoulou, as well as Shop Dogs. The show is going to be February 23rd to March 8th at Théâtre La Chapelle. We also have development is a big part of what we do. We have a translation in development as we speak that is ongoing, and that's in thanks to recent support from the Trellis Microgrants. In partnership with Talisman Theatre, we have Nully by Virginie Daigle, translated by Alexis Diamond. Ever busy Alexis Diamond, all over the place. And so we were like ready to grab onto Alexis as soon as we could to get moving on this piece. And then we've got a bunch of artists in residence. We're a small company, but we're trying to support as many local artists as we can. And so our little office rehearsal space is busy at all hours of the day and night, almost literally. You'll find Felix in there at like 3 in the morning making puppets. So our ongoing artists in residence are Benefshe Hassani with Sort of Productions in Sky's the Limit Theater. Felix Robitaille with Théâtre Sous Pression. Juan Han and Hueri Zhang. Dirty Mirror Collective, including Vanessa Schmaltz, Riley Wilson, Mia Cooper Graham. And our most recent addition, Kim Dominic Ferguson. I want to take a moment to say, outside of our annual season, there's a couple projects that we've been supporting in the wings that have shows coming up. So we just wanted to give a shout out to 2 shows that are being presented in partnership with Fierté Montréal, which are Max and Aaron write a musical at Seagull Center in June, and Lesbian Wilderness Retreat from Hell at Cabaret Lion d'Or in August. And And the last thing I need to say is that at Infinite Theatre, we aspire to create and support theatre that is engaged and engaging artfully, always artfully. And to that end, I invite you to visit our website because we had a lot of fun making this slideshow for you. And it's a stop motion if you check on our website. Yes, we're still cutting in the back
It
room.
was
Yeah.
wild, amazing. Zach, thank you so much. So when do you pack your bags? Are you going to Cyprus?
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
Okay. All right. I'm very excited. Will you send me a postcard when you get there? Okay,
yeah,
fabulous.
please.
I wanted to ask about the partnership for your main show, Whale Fall. Riley Wilson, Ash Lang, who are with us today. Tell me about how this trio has evolved.
So, in full transparency, I spend my days working in an office with Riley Wilson, and in the evenings, my life partner is Ash Lang. So, all of us have a shared passion for whales, and we're talking about them all the time. We all have different experiences with them. But the other thing is that, probably as a lot of you know, people who work in the arts often work many jobs in the arts, and some of them are what you might call more artistic or like in the room, and then some of them are behind the scenes. And Riley does a lot of work for us behind the scenes. But she's also a great artist. but she's also, I always get choked up.
She is behind the scenes.
Yeah, she's behind the scenes, but she's also a really great artist. She's got her own band, Ruby Creek, but she's also a fabulous performer and creator, as well as Ash Lang, who's making like a beautiful sculptor and makes things way better than I know how to. I pretend I know how to make puppets. She actually knows how to make things artfully. So. Yeah. So and it's been an ongoing project over a long period of time. It's ongoing. Last week we were interviewing a maritime pilot who was the first to discover the whale, who came in 2020 here, and was actually the one who saw the after. And then we've got an interview next week. With a writer of a really beautiful book about whales as well. So we're talking with all sorts of really fascinating people about
That's
whales.
a lot of research.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice your necklace is a whale tail. It's very lovely. Putting you on the spot, what do you like about whales?
Actually, Lynn was talking about Tadoussac, and actually a few years ago, Ash and I went and saw whales there. I'm also from the East Coast, so they're in the Bay of Fundy as well. But we've had some crazy experiences where literally the whale just like peeks up right beside the boat, its eyes looking right at you. It's this giant puppy, just like meters away from you, and you realize that there are these magical beasts that are beyond time and beyond our comprehension, and yet so full of humanity, and they're right there, and we don't give them the time that they deserve.
That they deserve.
So we're all curious to delve into that.
I could tell from the gasps in the room when you announced it that everyone here also likes whales. So we have a lot to look forward to.
So we have
Thank you so much, Zach Fraser.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarah.
We are on to company number 4, Imago Theater. Imago is a feminist theater company that works towards gender-inclusive storytelling as well as accessibility in the arts. Their busy season this year kicked off with a sold-out run at the Siegel Studio with a high school drama, The Wolves. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, you guys went. I couldn't get a ticket. That's okay. And the last show in just the coolest venue in a warehouse in a place I've never been to, so that was really fun. It was fun. It was good. It was good. This upcoming season will delve into questions of belonging and memory. Krista Jackson is artistic and executive director at Imago Theater. Come on up.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yes, The Wolves with Geordie Theatre. Yay! Just wanted to mention that, co-pro. Yes, so... Yeah! Cult Play by Scout Rex. This is the world premiere production developed in collaboration with Playwrights Montreal. Scout was a member of Imigo's Creator Circle from 2023 to 26. And we're so excited to premiere it, directed by Annie Valentina, with dramaturgy by Sarah Alkashef. A little bit about the play. What would you do if the life you always dreamed of came at a price you never expected? Alex meets a captivating woman who is everything she's ever wanted. Taylor opens the door to a thrilling new world, but what if it's all a trap? Cult Play immerses the audience in Alex's journey and the seductive power of belonging. In revealing her dark archive, Alex invites you to step into a thought experiment that questions the boundaries between voyeur and participant. Queer, enticingly playful, and unapologetically bold, Cult Play is a multimedia solo show that explores the complex interplay of desire and deception, complicity and choice. It's going to premiere at the Siegel Center in October 22nd to November 2nd. And then we're so excited that Jeremy Webb picked it up, sight unseen, and it's going to the Neptune Theatre in Halifax in February 2026. And next, Crash by Pamela Mala Sinha, directed by myself. This is a Montreal premiere of a really incredible piece. Crash is the fractured unraveling of memory. It's a tour de force narrative about family, faith, and love set in Montreal. Crash is the story of the girl who undergoes the haunting memories of a past assault as she navigates the loss of a loved one. Pamela Sinha's debut solo show premiered at Theatre Passe Muraille. It garnered 6 Dora Awards in Toronto, winning 4, including Outstanding New Play and Outstanding Performance of a Lead Actress for Pamela. And then Necessary Angel brought it with Soul Pepper to Vancouver, Edmonton, and it went to New York at the prestigious Signature Theatre as part of a 2017 Soul Pepper tour. Our new production, and I'm really honored because Pamela and I have been in a relationship for a while, will bring this play to Montreal for the first time. The situation happened just before Pamela started at NTS. And we're going to have a new actress playing the girl, taking over the role from Pamela. And that's going to run at the Siegel Center for the Performing Arts, February 11th to the 22nd. Yeah, there's our season. Thank you.
Absolutely fabulous, Krista.
Thank
so much
you.
to look forward to. Are there parallels between Cult and a Cult Play and Crash?
Yes, I actually wrote something about that because there's so many layers to both these shows, so I'm going to just read it. So the 2 shows we're offering are powerful stories of resilience, resistance, and healing. Both of the shows are set in Montreal, and they both defy kind of a Western arc leading towards a climax structure. They roll back on themselves, they're circular, they're feminine, they're queer. And we enter into the worlds of 2 women. They're both one-person shows with a little bit of digital actor help. And they both investigate fragments of a past memory or encounter. In Cult Play, Scout reveals Alex's dark multimedia world, and the archives are in direct conversation with the audience participation. And in Crash, Pamela weaves Hindu myths and Indian classical dance and rituals and song into that piece, into the memories that the girl's trying to put together. And the current climate we're in, women and queer people, they continue to be silenced and dehumanized and erased at times. So I think both pieces are challenging the regression of equal rights that we're seeing on a global scale. And Alex and the girl are asserting their existence, and they're inviting you to be part of that conversation.
And you have ongoing relationships with Scout and Pamela as well. That relationship is so important in your role.
Yeah, one of the, I mean, I'll speak for the team. When we put together shows, we're trying to be in relationship with folks in a real way. So Scout and our team and I have been working on Cult Play with PWM and Sarah for 3 years. So finally, it's ready, and here we go. And then Pamela and I have a relationship, you know, for the past 4 or 5 years. And this piece, when she brought it to me, it just felt like we could do this together. So yeah, just taking those relationships into the art.
Thank you so much, Krista.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. And I just want to mention, because we're at the Siegel Center for 2 shows, there is a 2-package deal, and it will be available at the end of the month, and then we roll into single tickets later. So yeah, we get to do like a kind of like season subscription, if you can call it that. So keep your eyes open for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Krista and Imigo. Our next company is Geordie Theatre. If Geordie Theatre was a person right about now, they would be a harried parent hiding their kids' phones and Switches. I think that's what the kids are playing these days, right? They'd be hiding those devices and settling their kids into a comfy theater seat right next to them. Geordie is marking its 45th season. I'm so eager to see what is ahead for Geordie, and I just editorializing again, especially after the season-ending world premiere of Jordan. It was a very powerful play, and my mom and I, wet faces, could not stop crying. Our hearts were full, and I'm very pleased to bring up now the man behind Jordan, the play, Jimmy Blais, artistic director at Geordie Theatre.
Thanks, gang. This year is Geordie celebrating our 45th year. Yeah, 45 years of bold, fearless storytelling for young audiences across Quebec and Canada, Eastern Canada. We're proud of where we've been, and we're more excited of where we're headed. Because Geordie has always been about momentum, about dreaming bigger, challenging harder, and reaching further. Our 2-play tour is hitting the road again, bringing fresh, powerful Canadian stories straight to schools across Quebec, Eastern Canada, and the Maritimes. We're visiting communities large and small, reaching over 41,000 kids in gyms, cafeterias, theaters, auditoriums, meeting young audiences exactly where they are. For elementary audiences, we're thrilled to present Beyond Belief by Sarah Danielle Pittman. It's directed by myself and performed by Luigi Tiberio, Ray Michelle Comodero, and Vasilios Iliopoulos. It's a funny, heartfelt adventure about Rowan, a 9-year-old dreamer determined to find proof that dragons still exist. Not just for themselves, but for their sister, who's facing a tough mental health journey back home. Rowan's quest reminds us that imagination isn't just escape. It's fierce, it's a beautiful act of love, and sometimes hope is the bravest thing we can offer. For our high school audiences, we're presenting an adaptation of 1984 called 2061 by Harry Stanjowski. Directed by Katie Wadham and Richard Dolma, and also performed by Luigi, Ray Michelle, and Vasilios. A thrilling, razor-sharp reimagining of Orwell's classic, where truth is slippery, history is rewritten, and courage is the only way forward. Orwell's 1984 warned us about the future just 35 years ahead. Harry's 2061 reminds us that the future is still ours to shape if we stay awake and stay brave. 2 totally different shows driven by the same belief, that young people don't need to be protected from the truth. They need stories that believe in their fire, their honor, in their dreams, and dare them to imagine a future worth fighting for. Next, in January, we're back at Maison Théâtre for our Geordie Theatre Fest. And we're kicking it off with Celestial Bodies by Jacob Margaret Archer, directed by myself, starring the extraordinary Riel Reddick-Stevens. This will see its first live audience in Montreal. We had a short run at YPT in Toronto. It was programmed during the pandemic, so we only had a live stream version of it, but we're bringing it back for you live and in person. It's funny, it's electric, it's heart-wrenching, and it's a one-actor play about Stella, a teenage girl navigating the mess of life, love, bodies, and the cosmos. A reminder that every young person already carries galaxies inside them, and that even when the world feels heavy, their light matters. We're excited to once again share our two-play tour shows to the public, so Beyond Belief and 2061 will also be there as well, giving everyone the chance to experience the magic that we usually bring straight to our schools. And then in the spring at Centaur Theatre, we're thrilled to present Snow White, adapted by Greg Banks and directed by myself, starring Espoir Segbaia as Snow White. This isn't the princess you remember. It's fast-paced, it's physical, it's fierce, it's two actors, and there's no safety net. It's flipping through the classic story with humor, heart, and guts. Our Snow White is fierce and funny and fully her own, because every young person deserves to see themselves at the center of the story. At a time when the world still argues about who gets to be the hero, we're simply telling the story the way it should have been told. So at Geordie, we don't make theater to hand young people answers. We make theater to hand them the tools to dream, to question, and to build. This 45th season is a celebration of imagination, of resilience, and, pardon me, of resilience and what's still possible. Thank you very much, and we can't wait to share the season with you.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. I could feel palpable excitement when you announced Beyond Belief in the room. What drew you to this story?
So Beyond Belief was written by Sarah, who is a graduating National Theatre School student. And we have a partnership with NTS at Geordie with their TYA classes. We get an opportunity to share the graduating writing students' work with schools. Before that happens, we do a mini workshop. I go to the workshop at the school. And when the play was read, there wasn't really a dry eye in the room. And I knew right then and there that this was the perfect story for us. So I programmed it in the room, and I could tell it was probably a good choice.
Logistic question. We're not saying 1984, 2061. We're just saying 2061?
It's 1984 with a strike through.
And we say 2061.
And we say 2061. Yeah.
Are kids still reading 1984 in schools?
I wanted to make sure that that still was a thing in the schools, and it is, yeah. It is, I mean, I'm sure like it isn't a part of the regular curriculum or suggested curriculum, but it is being read still, thankfully.
And I can't wait to see Harry's take on it.
Yeah, it's wild. The way he managed to put it all in 50 minutes with 3 actors is unbelievable, and it's a little scary how relevant it still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy 45th season, Jimmy.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Geordie Theatre. We now turn to our final company presenting this morning, our equivalent of the elder statesperson here in our theater community. The Black Theater Workshop is marking its 55th anniversary this season. Yes. You're so ready. Over half a century of telling the multifaceted stories of the Black community in Canada and around the world, this season includes another work by one of the most prolific playwrights we've ever seen. Black Theater Workshop's artistic director is Diane Marie Bridge. Welcome up, Diane.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I am of Jamaican heritage, and there's a word that I think fits the season for BTW, and it's actually a word that is really connected to the word resiliency, which I've heard multiple times today. The word is talawa. And talawa means that something is stronger than it looks, and it usually is when something is underestimated. And I think this word really illustrates BTW as we enter our 55th season. as one of Canada's longest-running theatre companies, period. Thank you. The spirit of Talawa is our gift to community and is at the foundation of all of our relationships. It is extended to anyone who sees BTW as stewards of story or sees BTW as their home base or who have launched their careers with Black Theatre Workshop. This season, BTW's tiny but mighty team continue our commitment to a national training strategy that is industry responsive and productions of Canadian plays that show a very Canadian perspective on Black issues that speaks authenticity to the lived experiences of Black people around the globe. These stories are driven by themes of navigating, staying ahead of systems, authorities, people that cause characters to hide or be silent, and even sometimes flirt with criminality. Also, the question of strength of community and our responsibility to each other is at the core. Survival sometimes means that the line between right and wrong is ever shifting depending on who you're talking to. And small choices have big consequences and resiliency is mandatory. So in a phrase, our characters are little but then talawa. So our Theatre for Young Audiences offering this year will be Pirate and the Lone Voice by Donna Michelle St. Bernard. This play will be directed by former artistic associate Lydie Dubuisson. Black Theatre Workshop commissioned this play before my time at the company, and over the last few years we've been working with Donna Michelle to develop it. We are incredibly proud to present this world premiere, which is another addition to the growing 54ology of plays inspired by the 54 countries of the African continent. So for those of you who don't know, DM is planning to write one play for every country in Africa, and she started this project in the early 2000s, and she's about halfway through. So we're really thrilled that she's chosen BTW as one of those companies that can help foster that project. This project, it's inspired, Pirate takes us underground in Guinea-Bissau, hot on the heels of two very young pirate radio rebels, as they skirt the authorities, dish gossip, and drop tunes. This play will tour Montreal schools from October 6th through to the 25th. And our main stage production is Our Place by Kanika Ambrose, and it will be directed by me. So we are super excited to give Our Place its Montreal premiere. It premiered in Toronto, I believe, at Theatre Passe Muraille. And the two characters, Andrea and Nisha, are two young women recently arrived from the Caribbean working under the table at a restaurant called Jerk Pork Castle. So it's in Toronto's East End, so those of you who know like the Kingston Road Strip, that's where this play is set. And they are working under the table to send money home to their families with a looming visa expiration deadline coming up as well, while they explore ways of staying in the country. A reading of this play was done in 2023 at the Club Z Festival, and we got audible, "Girl, don't do it, what you doing, don't trust him, what you..." Yeah. So, we will be opening this play November 19th through to the 30th at the Seagull Center's Studio Theatre. And our Artist Mentor Training Program, AMP, is back for its 13th year. Yes. So AMP is our flagship training initiative, and it is lighting up the stage once again with a 6-month intensive training of creation, collaboration, and career transformation. AMP is designed for Black and IPOC artists to level up their theater practices and projects while building meaningful connections and gaining real-world tools to thrive in the industry. From hands-on, actionable workshops to intimate one-on-one mentorship, AMP is a unique space where ideas spark, careers grow, and long-life artistic networks are forged. And the proof is in the alumni. I think there's a lot of people in this room who, went through AMP. AMP grads are now shaping the future of Canadian theatre in Montreal and across the country, and the program runs from September through to March. Applications are still open. We're closing them on May the 17th, so anyone who's interested, please check out the website and apply. And finally, I want to take the opportunity to announce the last offering for this current season, which is our Club Z Playwrights Festival, which is happening next week. We're so excited. This is the second iteration of Club Z, and it is a Black-led, professional development-forward playwrights festival featuring workshops, elder classes, and evening readings. So it's really about gaining skills and tools for any creator. It's filtered through a Black lens, so the perspective on the workshops is really for folks who feel like they're on the margins, but everyone is welcome. And we are also in the evening featuring readings. We're doing a production workshop of Christine Rodriguez's Oro. We have a French day dedicated to French workshops and a French language reading of Chocolat by Farah Thibault. And on the Friday evening, we're reading the Governor General Award-winning play The Other Side of the Game by Amanda Paris. And the closing night is our Sits Pub Cabaret. So this is all happening May the 14th to the 17th, and featuring some of the most amazing and prolific Black Canadian artists in the truncated little 4-day session. We have Debbie Young and East Africa coming. We have Donna Michelle St. Bernard coming, Marcia Johnson, Maggie Metalus, and Janet Sears. Yeah. There are tickets available on our website, and there are free events as well, so please check us out and join us, and all of the information is on the website. Thank you.
$55 looks good.
Yeah.
Club Z is a more recent development to your programming. It's only been in the last couple of years, I think. Yeah. The play that you're directing this season, Our Place, comes out of the Club Z laboratory. Yeah. So how is this festival coming up next week contributing to Black Theatre Workshop's future?
Well, when I arrived in Montreal, one of the things that was really important for me is that the Montreal voice, which is so unique in Canada, it is polyglottal, it's young, it has a very activist-focused center, that it wasn't being seen. A lot of the plays that BTW was producing were American plays or British plays or plays from away, and what is the voice here? So this festival is about inspiring people to start writing, creating networking, lateral networking as well, building communities so that we can also just start sharing amongst ourselves and understanding that it's not something that's elitist or outside of ourselves, but we can weave it into how we live. Yeah.
It's so wonderful. Diane, it's so wonderful to see that a company with such deep roots is also looking towards the future. Absolutely. And creating it.
Yeah, and also the idea of festivals. We've seen so many festivals dry up. Mag North is gone. Those are places where I've met most of the people I know in the theater community, so we want to start that again.
Beautiful. Yeah. So next week.
Absolutely, May 14th to the 17th, and most of the events will be at the MI or at upstairs in our offices, our rehearsal halls, and we have some readings over at the Talisman's, the T Street space. It was a T.
The wonderful Diane Marie Bridge, thank you so much. We are going to leave the final word this morning to the Quebec Drama Federation. Their team works to highlight and elevate the work of its members to represent the interests of the theater world, as well as present opportunities to network, learn, and flourish. So here to present on the QDF's behalf, Director of Programming, Holly Greco.
Hi, everyone. Okay, can we just say, oh my God, how amazing do these seasons look? Like, I obviously saw the slideshow ahead of time, and so I knew everything that was going on, don't want to brag, but being in this room with all of you, seeing this presented, hearing your gasps and cheers and excitement, it really encapsulates the magic of live theater. I'm so happy that you're all just as excited as I am about what these incredible companies are bringing. And thank you for being here. It's really wonderful to have you all here together and online. What's up? I also quickly just want to say a huge thank you to Sarah, our host today. She's an incredible theater advocate all year round. Please tune into her show on CKUT Upstage Thursdays at 6 o'clock. I'm just going to say a couple quick things about what we do at QDF that I want to draw your attention to specifically. So all of the shows that you heard about today are going to be available on our digital calendar in time, but you can go on our digital calendar now on our QDF website to see what's going on with our membership all year round. There you'll see dates, times, access to tickets, to purchase tickets. So please bookmark that wherever you can, and when you have a free night, see what's going on in English theater, because there's always something special going on. Something else I wanted to mention is the Overture. So for the last 2 years, we're just wrapping up our second season of this project, where we have a cohort of incredible writers who meet with 2 companies per month from October to June, and they do a preview article on what they're doing. So that can be with a designer, a director, an actor, and it gives you a behind-the-curtain look if you want to see how the sausage is made. Read one of these articles and get a sense of what these artists are working on in the run-up to their production to give you a taste, and then go check it out. We have some other launches that are happening, and you all seem to really like launches and getting it on the ground floor, so I thought I would just mention that. Our friends at the Siegel Center have their launch on Thursday, and they'll be launching their 25-26 season. It sounds like Centaur is also going to be launching at the end of the month, news to me, but I can't wait to be there as well. Of course, it's Fringe season. So our friends at the Fringe are doing the Fringe for All on May 26th, so make sure that you go and check all those out. We invite you, Sarah's going to come back up and do a final thank you goodnight, but I really do encourage you all to stick around. We still have bagels. Please don't make me take them all home. There might be some coffee too. Chat, talk about what you're excited about, meet somebody new. It's a rare opportunity. We get to see each other in the daylight, so I don't know, take advantage of that, I guess. At the end of the presentations, we're going to have a QR code up on the screen, and that will take you to our website, where, in case you weren't taking diligent notes, you will see all of the information about the companies and their seasons available there at 3 o'clock today. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see you all, and let's go see some theater.
This concludes our launch of the upcoming Independent Theatre English season in Montreal. A very big thank you to all our presenters today for giving us a taste of the compelling, enriching theater we have to look forward to, and of course, all their teams who are working behind the scenes as well and are mostly here today. So Diane, Jimmy, Amanda, Adam, Catherine, Zach, Lynn, and Krista. Mingle, talk to each other, as Holly said. Don't forget the bagels. Also, a huge thank you to the team that put together today's event. Of course, our hosts, everyone on sound and lighting, and refreshments as well. The Conseil des Arts de Montréal for hosting us, and a gracious thank you to the Conseil des Lettres du Québec, the Canada Council for the Arts, and the Cole Foundation for continued support. Thank you all so much for being here on a Tuesday morning, and our audience listening in from home. Here's to a bright, exciting 2025-2026 season.